Hey guys, Becky here with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to have you join me today because we have a really awesome design tutorial in Silhouette Studio for you. We are setting up our own stencils to bleach t-shirt sleeves. Okay guys, so here we are in Silhouette Studio, and just in case you have not seen this video yet, we do have a video that talks about creating your own templates inside Silhouette Studio, and that's what I'm doing today. And what I've done is I've taken a standard size cutting mat, a 12 by 12 cutting mat, and I laid the shirt sleeve over top of it, so that I will be able to get accurate sizing when setting up my template. Now, I know that this shirt sleeve in particular is for a size large t-shirt. So what that means is that if I make my template a little bit larger, then I will be able to use it for larger size shirts. Now that will be useful in case you are cutting this out of a reusable stencil film, such as Mylar or acetate. Now, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out of vinyl, partially because I don't plan on doing these a whole lot. I don't sell as a business, but also because I want to show you that you can use what you have on hand without going out and buying something special. So I'm a big fan of being able to try things first and then make purchases later. Now what we're going to do is we are going to set up a stencil so that we can bleach the design on the sleeves of a t-shirt. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to get familiar with my drawing shapes over here. And this is going to be my line tools. And I'm going to use this second option here, draw a polygon. And what happens here is I can click on it and I can select any place and just simply start drawing. Now what I'm doing is I'm drawing basically, we'll say an outline, an offset of what my stencil size will be to cover the arm of my shirt. So once I get the basic shape in there, I can double click and we can start with the point editing. Now again, we do have a beginner's video on using this and getting familiar with your point editing. So feel free to check that out. That is also in our library. But basically, I just want this to be slightly larger than my sleeve. Okay, so now I received this question last time we talked about making templates, and the question is, how do I know that this is going to be accurate sizing? The reason that this type of sizing works is because I have cropped down the inside of my image to make it a 12 by 12, because the inside grid of your cutting mat is sized to be 12 by 12. So as long as I crop down the image to fit that, and then I make my image 12 by 12, then that means that for the most part, whatever I have laid on top of the mat will also be sized correctly. So once I'm done, I can actually delete that out, and this is the template that we're left with. Now this is just the outline, so feel free to save this, especially if you're making shirts for yourself or if you're setting up your own set of stencils to use in the future. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a shamrock design. Now what I've done is I have opened a file explorer window, and this is an SVG file that I purchased. It's actually in the shape of a heart. Let me show you guys. But what that means, because I did not want tiny clovers on my sleeve, I wanted to be able to tell what they were. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to enlarge this until it fits over my entire sleeve design. I can rotate it to fit better if I need to. And then I will simply select these two, go over to my modify panel and choose crop. So that's one option. Now what this is going to do is this type of stencil, it will cut out the individual clovers, meaning that that's what you would put on your shirt, and that is the part that would not be bleached. So if that's what you're going for, then this is definitely an option for you. Let me show you, if you're going to do this in a reusable stencil, then what you can do is create a small offset. I'm going to do an internal offset. And I will hit apply, and then I will crop that part. So then I created another offset, and I promise this will make sense. But basically this way I can create a border. So we're going to select the two outside pieces and make a compound path, and then weld that with our design, with our, what am I trying to say, guys? Our clover design. There we go. So in this instance, I would be able to at least have the outline of the shirt. Now, one more thing we can do. Let's release the compound path. I'm going to delete the very outside, select again, and make a compound path again. And what this will do is this, and this is actually what I'm going to use, this is going to create a stencil that I will weed out the inside pieces. Okay, so what that means is that the part that I'll be bleaching will actually be the clovers. And that's okay. It just really depends on what look you're going for and how you're going to set up your file. Now, on this one in particular, the first one that we created, if you are cutting a reusable stencil, then you will either need to use a screen stencil mesh material, or what you can do is cut this out of, like we talked about, a clear Mylar, but you will want to connect all of your clovers. And that's why I'm not going to use that design, because I am going to use adhesive vinyl for my stencil. But just keep in mind that I don't want you guys to go through all the trouble of cutting some clear reusable stencils just to realize that the inside of those clovers are going to come loose, okay? So just depending on which look you're going for, you can use this if you want to leave your clovers unbleached, and you can use this one here if you want your clovers to be bleached. Now for the other side of the shirt, I will simply use my mirror tool. You can come over here to replicate and mirror to the right. And now I have one for each side of my shirt. Now the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that design back in. And I just released the compound path. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit my shirt sleeve. I'm going to turn it like this. And I will fit it up here in the corner. And I'm going to select, I just need a handful of these. I don't need them all. But I'm going to make them larger. That's because they are going to accent my shirt in other places. So then I can just align them on my cutting mat and use up some of that extra vinyl space. And this, guys, is how you would make your own shirt sleeve stencils. Now, like I said, you can cut them with a reusable material if you want, just using a few adjustments, or I'm just going to cut these out of adhesive vinyl. That way, that is what I have on hand. We are going to show you the follow-up project of actually using this with a shirt and bleaching it and applying a design. So definitely excited about that. And hopefully you guys really appreciated how we were able to combine just, several different techniques that we've already gone through. And of course, if you have any questions about those, like I said, a lot of those are already in our video library for you and just ready for you to view at your pleasure. All right, guys, so I know you're anxious to see these sleeves in action. I did use these exact stencils, and don't worry, we have a follow-up video to show you how to make this exact shirt. So making these shirt sleeve stencils is a really fun way to personalize shirts. And guys, once you get the hang of bleaching shirts, I'm not saying that they're everybody's cup of tea, but they are so fun. And there's so many ways that you can personalize them and add character to those plain old t-shirts. So hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed the t-shirt tutorial. And guys, if you have any questions, please make sure you leave those below. I do love to hear from you guys, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share with a crafty friend and give the video a like or a thumbs up if you learned something today. Guys, I really appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to wrap it up for today, but we will see you again next time.